They gonna make okay. I'm about to say they're gonna make me pay to read the full story. That's what I thought. Anyways, it's a surprising outcome considering that these are the folks who own their okay. We talked about that. 6 figures of jobs and they got retirement. Why don't they feel like it? Inflation is a big reason. Okay, prices increasing. Then this from August of last year, with everything from gas to groceries, which is inflation, to college tuition. Nah, I wouldn't say college tuition would make it so that people who make 175K don't have money because you don't have to pay for that, like gas and groceries. Guess you ain't got to pay for gas now, right? If you go electric, becoming more expensive. It takes more money than ever for the average American to feel financially secure. Not to mention, too, if you're in this 175K range, you're in the top 10% of tax filers. One would say you might be doing 529 slash ESAs. You're saving for college ahead of time. Hopefully. All right. It takes more money than ever for an average American to feel financially secure. In fact, more than half of respondents in our survey said they worry about money. The other big issue, comparisons to others. Okay. FOMO, keep up with the Joneses. With social media making it possible to see how your lifestyle stacks up against others. So social media, FOMO, y'all got to get off social media. It's the biggest drug. Now we're seeing the tripod warriors out here. See people setting up their tripod, going to Target, whatever it is. The tripod, I mean, if there were, I'm not a mental health professional, but the tripod people have a disease that is unreal. You've been diagnosed by Silent underscore Corey on the Corner Full of That podcast. If you see somebody posting up a tripod, I'm not saying you should call the police or like a mental health professional, but like they need help, and that's got to stop. That's just my 2 cents on that. Get off my soapbox real quick. With social media making it possible to see how your lifestyle stacks up to others, it's easy to feel inferior. Also, the more money you make, the more you tend to spend, also known as more money, more problems. A huge aspect of our findings revolved around moving. I talked to dozens of rich people, and many of them were interested in relocating to places, okay, where the salary go further. I think Texas, Florida, and even New Hampshire. That led to us develop an interactive tool where you can see how far your money would go in other places across the country. Say you make 100, okay, here we're going to get into the numbers based off where you live at. 100K in New York, your income would be 15.7% higher than the area's median. But in Albuquerque, New Mexico, you would be 71.4% higher than the median. I tell people all the time, 100K in New York, just like flat out based off the income in that area, is still, 15% higher than the average, the median income in that area. But this year is the cost of living there. So what does this all mean? On one level, these folks are the ones who hold the power positions in society. Okay, mayors, business owners, doctors. They don't feel rich. That could affect what kind of political stances they take and the amount they give to charity and other social programs. Cool. I mean, if you have money, then you give to these people programs. If you don't have money, you don't have money. I think people who have money tend to lean conservatively. I mean, that's just the general logic with that. Obviously, people who have money are liberals as well, but I think people who donate, give to charity, give their time and things like that, regardless of how much money they have, that's just something in you to be that type of person, not just based off of your quote unquote income. But on another level, it also means feeling financially secure is harder than I've ever imagined. Maybe there isn't a level of wealth that means you stop stressing about money. I wouldn't say it's a level of you call it wealth. I mean, there's all these different terms now. I mean, wealth. What does wealth mean? Right now, there's all these various terms that everybody's arguing about: financial stability, all these various things. I would say when you get to a point where you feel comfortable, whatever your definition is, then you're good to go. Everyone can define all these different terms of how much you need to make, whether it's $1,000,000, 500K, 100K, how much you need to make, right? It's how much you make versus your DTI, meaning how much you make versus how much you're spending a month on your debt versus how much you have left over in general versus what your net worth is versus how much you have just in assets. Like, there's all these different markers you can use from a financial standpoint to determine your wealth. And this is using just flat out income based off of tax filing information. I would say it depends on what it is for you, right? For me, I would say it's a combination of everything, not just how much money you make based off of where you live at. It's also, geez, my phone's going off for all these to go to the gym tomorrow. Not just based off how much money you make, based off of how much money you have left over on a monthly basis. So you're budgeting based off of what your DTI is, right? Your debt to income ratio, based off of how much money you're investing. Not just what your net worth is, but based off of how much money you're actually investing on a monthly or yearly basis. And on top of that, what your actual net worth is and what you're doing going forward long term. All those various things you use to see how wealthy you are. And a lot of people are just getting started on their wealth building journey because they're working on paying off their debt. building their savings and increasing their income. So they're still in the process of building their wealth, right? They don't have wealth yet. A lot of people say you would consider yourself being wealthy, not if you hit like the millionaire status or anything like that. But in short, once your home is paid off and then you've been investing consistently for 20, 25, close to 30 years, by then you should be wealthy based off of how much you make and where you live at. Because obviously going to be different for everybody based off of their income. Because I believe it's the teachers in the top five most likely to be millionaires. I gotta find um, that survey and then memorize the order. But yeah, teachers have a high. They don't make a lot of money, but they have a high percentage chance as far as the job field to become millionaires, and a lot of that's probably due to them being process based people, right? 'Cause teachers are about doing the same thing, checking things off the list, and getting things done. So that kind of helps. And a lot of people in that top five are like the engineers. Lawyers aren't up there. I think CPAs, financial advisors, those type of people are up there. All right. And then it all out. It sounds kind of depressing, but I see it as a great equalizer as well. There's something strangely comforting about knowing that people making 3 times my salary are worrying about money too. I I wouldn't say it should be comforting. I understand what they're saying like that. As I always say, most people are struggling financially. Yes, a lot of people are struggling financially, but I don't think you should feel better because people who make more money than you are doing worse off. That would be sort of like a glass half empty type of mindset, because then that will put you in a position to possibly say, well, why should I go, excuse me, and make more money if people who say I make 50K, people make 150K, if I said 3 times, you make 100K, people make 300K. The people who make 3 times my income are in general in the same financial situation that I'm in. Why would I have any drive to go and make more income / improve my financial situation? Whatever you want to insert here for, doing better with your money. So yeah, it's comforting from the sense of you're not alone, right? A lot of people are struggling with their money, but I wouldn't be happy about or comforted from the fact that people make more money than me are doing worse. I'd be upset. I'd be like, dang, how much money do I need to make? Right? If people make three, but the people who make 3 times the amount that I do, nah, please tell me y'all, please tell me y'all doing well off. I don't want to know that y'all struggling. But again, I wouldn't look at them struggling or making, should I say, 3 times the amount of money I make, and then they're struggling. I would find the people who have the same mindset around handling their finances that I do that make 3 times the amount of money as me. Because there are people who do make 3 times the amount of money than me, and they're in a worse situation. When I say me, myself, my wife, I'm just talking about myself right now, but make more money than us. But if they're doing worse off than us because they have a different mindset than us when it comes to handling money, I have no issue with that. That'd be my expectation. You make 3 times as much as I do, but decisions you make, I believe, from my mindset, are bad financial decisions. Thus, you in a situation that you're in. Versus people who have the same mindset as me. Hey, they're making 3 times as much money as I make, and they'd be doing what I will be doing when I be, once my income triples, right? But that's it, y'all. Locked and loaded. I told y'all this was gonna be a quick one. End of the episode. All right. Make sure y'all comment. See, I've been going to the wrong one. Make sure y'all comment, like, share, and subscribe. Shout out to the YouTube algorithm. Leave those rating reviews on the podcast platforms as well. I had to redo my schedule. I told y'all I'm getting over being sick. People are like, dang, Corey, you've been sick for like three episodes. Don't worry about that. I don't be popping that much medicine because I want myself to fight it off. Look, this is the first time I've been sick. Doing a podcast. We're going on 3 years now. The last time I was sick when I got the jab for the panorama, but that got me sick. But I'm good. But I was sick at the beginning of the year. My wife and I redid our schedule, so I moved the time, so I'm recording at night, so I can edit in the morning. So we still, rearranging our schedule now that our son is sleeping more. So we get all that figured out. But like I said, I'm gonna get through some of the old episodes. I'm gonna start recording more so I can get through the old articles that I have. And like I said, now I got my schedule all situated. Gonna be able to start. Goodness gracious, I got so many notifications and things to do. I'm gonna start. God dang it! I wonder if y'all can hear that. I'm gonna start chopping up the videos to smaller pieces, so we can get more uploads more frequently as well. So you're still gonna get these general episodes where I record everything at one time, but then I'm gonna start breaking those up so you guys can see them and it hits the algorithm more often, so we can get more traction on the podcast. All right. But that's it, y'all. Locked and loaded. Remember to save more and say less. Keep making better your best. And I'll catch y'all in the next one.